Hello, too. This video is going to be on democracy and why it does work, like, or rather, why it works. It needs. It's got a few chinks in the armor, chinks in the armor to work out. Like, there's some things wrong with democracy, and I want to talk about that. But I want to say, and first of all, let me say I'm glad not many people watched the last video because I was obviously an ass in it. I was kind of drunk, and I spent about half the fucking video talking about a gay wrestler I used to like. So yeah, it was not really the most brilliant video I have ever made, but it was supposed to be on why men are humans and the humanity of men, and why some cases we don't act like that, and we bring some of that on ourselves. We want to always play big macho badass, but we really are not. And also, I think that children are the ones that get the worst at it, but that's not the point. I want to talk about democracy and something. And by the way, let me say this first of all. I may be saying her name wrong, but Tulsia, whatever her name is, Tulsa Gabbard or whatever her name is. I'm seriously the representative from Hawaii. Okay, let's put it that. The female representative from Hawaii. I'm a dumbass. Listen, I am seriously thinking about voting for her, and I think that she may have a good point. And here's the thing about Trump. I like Trump, but you can never be sure where someone stands. And really, here's the thing about any president. They never do what they really want to do, well, except for George Bush. I mean, he fucked this country overnight. But I mean, most presidents a lot of presidents wait till their second term to really turn up the heat, before they really start cooking it. And you have to wonder if Trump's not going to do that. And there's something in your Bible about the beast or something like that. We'll wait until after 4 years to show his fangs, and that's one presidential term. It'll last all but 7 years. So I'm not a Christian, but I mean that's kind of interesting. Anyways, and I'm not saying that about Trump. I don't know that. I mean, he may be a great, wonderful human being, and he looks like he is, but I don't know. The point is, this was about Tulsi Gabbard, who like I said, I might vote for her. And she wasn't saying this. She said that, but Barr said you have to kind of hold your finger, and I could say something about other fingers, but you have to hold your finger to the wind and see where the political wind is blowing, because you're supposed to represent the 98% instead of the 2%. And yeah, I agree. The 2% of bankers, the 2% of wealthy corporate interests, the 2% of capitalists, the 2% of communists, the wealthy, powerful, that old Anglo-American elite, these people that run and control your world and your businesses, who have been screwing us all for a long, long time. I will agree with you on that, my friend. And by the way, I do not want to be disrespectful to Bill Maher, and I'm sure I already am, but I don't want to do that. And I just want to say this, before I say too much about him, I just have to say what I want to say, brother. Like when I was a teenager growing up, Bill Maher was one of the fucking people that really helped shape my ideology. He gave, it's kind of like, it's like when Vince Russo was writing for WWE. It's like, he's got new ideals, and it's like, okay, man, I want to see your new ideals, and he throws new ideals out. And he's a very smart person, and I feel that way about Bill Maher. I think Bill Maher is a very smart person, and I listened to the guy, and then over time I listened to other people and other people and other people, and then I developed my ideals and evolved it to wherever the hell it is now, and made it what it is now. And it's a continuation of thought and philosophy from one generation to the next, and that's how the world's supposed to work. But rather, whether I'm not really 100% sure myself where the hell I'm at now. Maybe I think we're living in a matrix. I really don't know what the fuck I'm thinking. But the point is, I'm not 100% sure my damn self. But the point is, I was like, totally, here's what I'm saying. It's not like you are right. The 98%, you should do what the 98% wants. Let's put it that way. But it is also up to us, 2%. To put information and education out there to tell people what they need to know. And I know Bill Maher is not against genital mutilation, for example. He's said that before. That's fine. I don't care. I don't go into detail of it. But I am, and I think I should have a right to put that information out there and let you know what you're actually doing. And if you still want to do it after that, what the hell can I do about it, But it's the same thing with everything. And you have to keep in mind, back in the 1950s, before smarter people, but still people like me who thought a lot of what I think, started to kind of get a little bit of a grip on society in the 60s. Before that, someone like me would have been hung for saying half of what I say. They would have killed me. A few hundred years ago, I would have been burned. I would have been burned alive. I would have literally been burned a fucking alive for saying things that I say. So the only reason we have the rights and freedoms we do is because we listen to that fucking minority over time. We learned to listen to them, and we heard, what do you have to say? I want to hear some new ideals. Who is an individual among you with something to say? Bring it forth. Throw us some bones here. Throw us a new ideal. Show us your ideals, and like, we need that in the world. We need that in life, and life is too short to just believe what people taught you when you were children. You have got to evolve beyond that. But I think a lot of what Bill Maher's problem with Generation Z, and I'm not Generation Z, I'm Generation Y. I was like the last part of that. I'm getting kind of old with my damn self, and I'm probably not hip with it, and I don't know what all the kids are doing now. But I think part of his problem with them are they don't always show people who kind of paved the way before them respect. There are kids who don't really listen to people who were older than them, and I listen to a lot of people who came way before me. Like, I'm talking, George Carlin, Bill Hicks. I just said I listened to Bill Maher. People that were before me, and I listened to what they had to say, and I take into Timothy Leary, and I will take into consideration their opinions, what they have to say. Larry Flint, I want to hear them. I want to hear their fucking opinions, and then from there I will develop my opinions. And I don't think enough people do that, and that is a blemish on our generation that we have to change. But I think that the 2% matters, and I think that you need checks and balances in democracy, because you have to keep in mind, in the majority of Muslim countries now, they will kill a gay person. They stone to death women in some countries for being prostitutes or for prostitution and various things. Are you saying that's okay? No, I totally agree with you. You should go with the 98%. You have got to educate these fucking people. You've got to bring them into the future. They can't just goddamn live in the Stone Age forever, and that's what they're doing. So I just wanted to say that. But for the record, I want to say I may very well I don't want to vote for a woman. I may very well vote for that girl. Why I'm not able. I don't know much about her. I just learned her name pretty much, if you want the truth. But from what I've heard about her, from what I've seen about her, the research I've done, I very well might and probably will vote for her. And unless something happens or I find some reason not to vote for her, I probably won't. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do some research on her. I'll probably vote for her, but I'm gonna have to do some more research on her, obviously. But I'll probably vote for her. But the point is, you should listen to 98%. But a lot of the time, the 98% are like ignorant zombies. It's like that old saying, the masses are asses. The M in masses is silent for asses. In other words, you shouldn't ignore the voice of the masses, but you have got to fucking take things into consideration. And that's kind of what I'm saying. Just because enough people believe something is not always right. It is not always right, And that's that. P666.